Are you worried that your business may go the way of the dinosaurs? As a result of COVID-19, a lot of people are feeling very nervous when it comes to their business operations. So I want to welcome you to this conversation that we are calling Tough Call: Tips for Cutting Your Budget. My name is Ken Okel. I'm a professional speaker. I speak to audiences about dealing with unexpected challenges. For a lot of people, COVID-19 is one of those big challenges. Everything might have been going along just fine, just like it was for the dinosaurs, and then all of a sudden you're having to make dramatic changes to your organization. And it is understandable if you're not really sure where to start, because this is probably outside of your normal skill set. I want to make sure that we make clear, this is not a talk about employees. You may need to furlough some employees. Perhaps you'll have to lay some off, change some hours. Those are really decisions that you have to make at your level. I don't know necessarily the level of skill in your organization, the number of employees. Can't really make that call from here. I do want to talk to you about thinking about the budget process on a lot of other things. First concept I want to discuss with you: urgency. Really start to look at expenses in terms of how urgent are they. An example of this: let's say your facility has developed a hole in the roof. Couple solutions you could have for it. You could put a tarp over the hole and hope that it doesn't grow bigger over time, which is something that may or may not happen. The other solution is you go pay someone to get the roof fully repaired. This will cost more money, but it might cost less money than if you do nothing and allow a hole to grow. You're going to have to weigh these decisions in terms of urgency. How fast do I need to pay to fix a problem? Maintenance is a big deal for a lot of organizations, so you want to make sure you're thinking about that. Same goes for equipment. Your equipment, well, here's an old computer, but some of your equipment may be a little out of date. This is where you're going to have to think about, what is the cost to replace it? And that may have been in the budget previously. Can it wait another year? Can you defer that purchase? Think about, will productivity be impacted? If this is some sort of machinery, software, could buying it increase productivity, offsetting the cost? Or is it just simply a newer version of something that's just a little bit better? If it's just a little bit better, you may want to try to see if you can stick with what you have for just a little longer. Consider for your organization if there are opportunities to do things in a slightly different way. For instance, it may be important to send your sales team out to various conferences and trade expos. Perhaps you're used to sending 6 people across the country to attend this event. Makes sense. You may not be able to do that anymore. You don't want to necessarily do away with having people learn new ideas, new strategies, new techniques. It may be a better idea to reshape the vision in terms of where you want to go. Perhaps instead of sending 6 employees, you send 2 employees. Perhaps instead of sending them across the country, you look to see if there's something more in the region that you're in. So instead of a flight, they're driving. And of course, you're compensating everyone. So you might send 2 people instead of 6. And upon their return, those 2 people are responsible to share their big takeaways with the rest of the department. You want to make sure, though, that you give everyone time to do this. It's unfair to say, go to a conference, come back, and somehow figure out how you're going to train everybody. Don't do that. Don't fall into that trap. Make sure that you create a structure. When people come back, they are able to train their colleagues. This way, you get the benefits of the training. You don't have to pay for everyone to go to the place to receive it. Not a perfect solution, but again, it is one that might save you a few dollars. Consider asking for new ideas. Very often, the people in your organization probably know their divisions, their departments much better than you. You don't have to have every decision when it comes to the budget. Consider if there are things that they see that can be removed, that can be reduced. Utilize them as a resource. Finally, be aware of perception. You may not like your desk. People in your office, they may be tired of their desk, but Is a desk something essential that you need to buy at a time when the budget is very tight and you're needing to save money? A lot of cases, that old desk may be good one more year. Just stick with it for a little while. In terms of the perception, I do want to say that if it's a situation where people are having to cut back their budgets, they're having to reduce things, they're having to defer purchases, and you suddenly get a brand new office set, beautiful furniture, that could create some issues for people. Because if they feel like they're having to sacrifice, tighten their belt in the organization, if someone is perceived as spending, I don't want to necessarily say recklessly, but in a way that doesn't make sense to them, they're going to start to resent you and your organization. There may be some cases when that purchase was needed, it was essential. If that is the case, make sure you're communicating to people and make sure it's something more than just saying, well, I wanted something new and I deserved it. Perhaps it's more of a situation where you're saying, we're going to be bringing in a lot more potential clients and we needed to make sure that we could entertain them and pitch them in a modern office space. We needed to make the upgrade, but we think it's going to pay off a lot down the road. See, there's a difference between the two. Weighing to two sides, simply wanting new stuff and using new stuff to achieve a goal. So those are some strategies that I think might help you as you're trying to think about your budget, trying to make ends meet during COVID-19. I'm not saying you won't have some sleepless nights. It will be a challenge, but trying to approach things from a more of a systematic viewpoint. Hope this has been helpful. If you'd like to contact me, go to my website, kenokel.com. That's my name. Want to send me an email, go to tvguy@kenokel.com. Years ago, I worked in television news, and when I'd walk through a store and someone wouldn't know my name, they would suddenly say to me, hey, TV guy. Finally, I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. If you want to do that there, go to Ken Okel. That's my name. That's my LinkedIn profile. Thank you so much. I hope you got some good value out of this presentation. I'm Ken Okel. Take care.